Great morning. Great morning. Great morning.
And welcome back to another episode of Great Morning. I'm your host, Christian Murmur, Merms, Mermdog, whatever the fuck you want to call me. And to the left of my computer screen, we have the Fact Queen, my sister from the East, that Puerto Rican mamacita from Spanish Harlem.
There it is.
Stephanie, your Grace, how you doing today?
Gang, motherfucking gang. What's up? What's fucking up? I took a nap. I'm feeling fucking great. You know, my voice is getting better and better every day. I fucking love it, even though I sounded kind of raspy earlier, but it's okay. And what else? Oh, so really quickly, because, you know, I really don't like this fucking bitch downstairs. So let me tell y'all a quick story, because...
So this is like a sequel, by the way, for the listeners. This is like going to be like a sequel to when Stephanie was first on, because when she was first on, she talked about this specific resident nearby her. But yes, please continue.
Yeah, so this fucking lady... So yesterday, so everybody knows that's been listening, I travel to New York every day because of Landon. You know, I kid goes to school in New York and we live in Jersey, right? Mm-hmm. So yesterday, there was nobody home except for baby daddy. So baby daddy receives a phone call from the super, and the super is like, hey, so the lady downstairs is saying that, you know, your son is making noise upstairs. Pero there was no son upstairs. So who, like, what did you hear, ma'am? That's what I want to know.
So we got two possibilities, possibly three, right? So either one, she's lying. She's a lying bitch. She just angry at you for past things, and she's
a lying bitch.
Yeah, she's just trying to lie. So that's one. Two, there's someone else in your house that you don't know about.
No, there's a fucking ghost in my house. Her name is Spirit. Spirit, I swear to God, she be in my house. I know it because I see her. She be fucking with me all the time, Merms, all the fucking time. But it's all right though. Other than that, you know, I called the super. Well, I didn't call him. I spoke to him today. I'm like, that bitch is a fucking liar. I thought she was moving. I thought we had this conversation. So you lied to me too. And yeah, it was like, no, yeah, Stephanie, you know, I just have to call because then, you know, she wouldn't shut up. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Anyway, and then, you know, Landon is doing great. He's not sick anymore. Thank the fucking Lords, because
there we go.
Yeah, because, you know, I hate school, because, you know, school with these freaking kids, and then everybody and their mother, you know, these kids just come back with a ton of fucking germs, a ton of germs. And then, you know, who gets sick? Mom gets sick. Mom gets sick at the very end. You know why? Because mommy got to take care of everybody and their mother. And then the germs decide to say, you know what? Mommy's going to get sick last because everybody's better now.
Yeah,
exactly.
So nobody don't have to worry about mommy, but mommy.
And it happened, you got sick like right when school just started too. So it was you didn't even have time.
It's like it was an ongoing thing for like a month and a half, and thank God that, you know, we don't have to deal with this shit anymore. He's chilling, he's vibing. He likes to go to school. He gives, you know, he'd be like, here's my wrist, take my temperature. He's like, Mom, my mask, and I'm like, ugh, you're a masker now, like, ugh, you know, so gross.
Somebody has to.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I mean, it is what it is, but, you know, I was just like, shit. But, you know, he's chilling. Everybody's chilling, and, you know, it's a wonderful thing. And, you know, surgery countdown is going to begin by next week. You know what I'm saying? So other than that, we're chilling. We're
surgery for what?
Oh, yeah, I have a brain tumor.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if she was getting a BBL or something. I was like,
what the hell? Why would I get a BBL?
I don't know. You might want to get a BBL. There's nothing
but
wrong
I
with
go
it.
to the gym. I don't. Nah, man. You know what?
There ain't nothing wrong with the BBLs.
Nah. There is something wrong with BBLs. You know why? Because every single bitch look the same now. I don't want to be looking like all these basic bitches, because now they're all basic. It's not even cute anymore.
Wait, time out. Hold on. For the listeners who might not know what that is, what does BBL stand for? Either of you can explain.
It's a Brazilian butt lift.
Yes.
You know? But no, I don't.
Quick little fat transfer.
Nah. You know what I'm saying? You gotta just do, you know, your squats.
Listen, as long as women, y'all good with, like, listen, I just don't want to control what women do. I just want women, they want to do with their bodies. You know what I mean?
I feel you. But this one over here would prefer to go to the gym.
There we go.
And, you know, because I don't like, you know, you go to the fucking pool and to the beach and you know quickly when these bitches got some motherfucking work done because they always have that fucking iconic motherfucking tattoo around their fucking surgery line and shit. And then their belly button is all corroded and shit. I don't want to look like that. That looks so weird.
Corroded?
Yeah, well, you know, because the belly button, they cut it and then they bring it down and they sew it up and they give you a brand new belly button. Who the hell wants a brand, like that's like a whole brand new identity?
I feel like I gotta watch like a documentary on this or something. I don't know enough about Brazilian butt lifts. I'm learning way too much.
I was on Clubhouse and this was like when Clubhouse was actually Clubhouse.
Mm-hmm.
And like it was actually industry. I was on the app when it was probably like maybe 50,000, 100,000 people on the platform. Mm-hmm. So it was all industry people. And I remember being in a room with Joe Budden and some of the women that was in the chat with him, and he was actually doing a BBL contest. So women came up and like said a reason why they needed the BBL. Like they give all the sob stories and stuff. And then I guess he ended up paying for one of them to get a BBL, or like him and the other girls. So it was like him and like two other girls who were the moderators. And so they were all doing this stuff for a woman who maybe wants a BBL. So that's honestly, that kind of opened my eyes to it. Cause then you start hearing these women's stories and you're just like, wow, some of them actually have, you know, legit reasons why to get it. So you just kind of like, you don't want to judge every single woman you see.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Because then it's like, I don't know what her reasoning was. You know what I mean?
That's true. That's true. But over here in New York City, these bitches is just doing it to just to scamming motherfuckers left and right. You know what I'm saying? They all got the motherfucking hair supply fucking tattoo wigs. You know what I'm saying? And they got the $10 motherfucking besos, the earrings, and then they all working fucking made in Mexico. Get out of here. I'm over it. I'm
Stephanie,
fucking over it.
I feel like you're a little stressed out this episode.
Yes, I am a little bit stressed. Can you tell?
No, that's okay. You can always get that out.
That's all right. You could be cool with us.
This is the place to let it all out. We love hearing people complain on this show. That's our favorite thing. But you know what? Before we hear any more about anyone complaining, I just want to go ahead and introduce our special guest before just keep talking.
We start just getting into conversation.
Yeah, I'll just introduce you like 40 minutes in and be like, oh, by the way, we got 10 minutes left, but by the way, this is who we're talking to. But seriously, with us today, our special guest, we have a creative director, Marquis Tipton. How you doing, man?
Man, thank you. I'm doing good. Good. Just chilling, you know, enjoying the San Diego weather.
San Diego? Yeah, I was going to ask, where you from? You from San Diego originally, or are you from somewhere else?
Born and raised, man. It ain't many of us, you know. It's a tourist city. It's a military city. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people are out-of-towners, as we call them.
Is that, so now I got to ask, because I you know, Jimmy, we should explain that real quick. Listeners, Jimmy is not on this episode again. Don't worry, he's fine for listeners. He's okay.
He's safe.
But he's, you know, again, he's in Florida. He's doing Navy training. This should be the last time, I want to say that he's doing that for this week. So we apologize. Yeah, so we apologize that he's not here. I know he wasn't here last week either when we did the last episode. But hopefully this is hopefully after this he's good. But anyway, Jimmy was the one who brought you to our attention. So I knew he was going to ask like, you know, or he was going to at least talk about how he came into contact with you. How did you guys know each other beforehand, or did he just message you out of the blue? Sometimes he does that. So that's what I was just wondering.
No, we actually were at like a little, like, I guess I'd call it like a little industry birthday party. It was actually two people's birthday. So one of the artists that I work with, it was his birthday. Okay. And then a producer that I work with, it was actually his birthday too.
Okay.
And so they had like a little kind of stripper type thing. You know, they had a stripper there and stuff. It was really cool.
Yeah.
And Jimmy was actually videotaping.
Yeah.
He was a videographer for the event. And so I was just sitting down, chilling, talking. And then he just like randomly kind of came up to me. We just kind of started talking, and he was just like, yo, like, what's your story? I started, you know, we just started talking kind of, you know, I love to network. You know, that's like a lot of people know me for just being outside, networking, talking to people. So I didn't mind to talk to somebody, you know what I mean? I don't care.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people be weird about talking to strangers or talking to new people. I love meeting new people. So,
Oh, that's
he
that's
was
a
just,
great quality to have.
yeah, you got to, especially, I think just in life, you know what I mean? You got to be open. I was going to say in business, but in life, you just got to be open to, receiving whatever's next.
Mhm.
And that could come in different forms. So I'll talk to whoever, and, because you never know when an opportunity might, come up like this. So he was just
Exactly.
like, what? Yeah, he was just like, what's your story? We started talking, and then he was like, yo, I got to get you on the podcast. I got to get you on. Like, we do this podcast, blase. So I was like, shit, I'm down. And
Hell
that's how we
yeah.
did it. Shout out to Honcho, shout out to Manny. It was their birthdays. It was also some other girl. I don't know her birthday. I don't know who she was.
I'm
Shout
sure
out
it's
to
plenty
her
of
too.
people's birthday.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome, man. So I'm glad Jimmy was able to, that's how, honestly, that's how a lot of the times he gets into contact with people. He likes networking too, but like I've been to, that's how I met him. That's how I met him. Was that
Networking.
It was network. I was a friend of a rapper. I'm still friends. I shouldn't say I was. I still am friends with rapper O'Shea Ivy, and
Okay.
he was doing a music video, and Jimmy was the videographer for it, and that's how we came into contact. So
He's always in the right place, huh?
He's always got that in the back of his head. But anyway, man.
Yeah.
So going back to you though, so so what is it exactly that you do then? Can you give us a little like synopsis for the listeners?
Yeah, I like to say I like to take people's goals or dreams and level it up, and really take it to that next step. And also I just like to help people, achieve their goals. In general, I just like to help people. I'm here to help people, right? And a lot of people, what I learned is they do it by themselves at first, and there is a cap to that. Anybody who studies business knows like a great leader learns how to delegate. And so that's what I've kind of learned was like, okay, how do I get around certain people and kind of help them out? I've always just been a helpful person. And so really, I just like to help people. I do marketing, I do branding, I do creative direction. I come up with storylines, storyboards. I help write, I help produce music. So like I said, whatever to get the job done, like that's what I'm here for.
Yeah, jack of all trades.
Yeah, exactly. Like you got to have somebody who's going to help you get the job done, because you're the visionary. And so to actually execute being the visionary, you need somebody there helping you execute the things, because if you're focused on all the small things, you can't further grow the brand and the identity of whatever you're doing. So like one of the first people I worked with, Nate Howard, he just gave me an opportunity, like he saw that I was hungry, he saw that I wanted to be an entrepreneur and I was creative. I started off just taking pictures and doing videos like Jimmy, it's just like, I could take pictures, I could do videos. And it started from there, and it grew from there, from actually just not only, taking pictures and videos, but actually coming up with strategies on how to grow the company and grow him as a individual artist. And so, yeah, that's, like I said, I just like to help people out. My mom, she's always been a helpful person. So I think I really get it from her.
I like that. That. Thanks for adding that. I like that part.
Shout out to mama.
Yeah.
Listen, man, the moms, they know what to do, man. The moms know what to do.
So tell me if this is true, because I think Jimmy mentioned this, but this could have been lost in the grapevine somewhere. Is it true that you have worked with Iggy Azalea?
Yeah. So I personally didn't work. One of the artists that I work with, she's worked with Iggy Azalea.
Oh, okay. Who was that?
Her name is TT the artist. She's a filmmaker. She's a music artist, obviously.
I feel like I've heard of her.
You probably have. She just she signed to Issa Rae. Issa Rae, the film director, Insecure and all that stuff. So she signed to her as a film director, but she also does music and stuff. And so she's got a couple songs, just her thing is she calls herself the sync queen, which is like getting placements and getting songs placed on people's albums, maybe her actual song or her song as a reference track for somebody else to sing. And so she's worked with Iggy Azalea. I think one of her first placements was with like J-Lo and Diplo. So I'm just like blessed to even be able to, be walking the same walking the same land as her.
Oh, definitely. So for instance, then that artist that worked with her, right? So how did she get into contact with you? Did she meet you somewhere? Did she
Clubhouse?
Clubhouse? Okay, yeah.
On
So
Clubhouse.
that's what I wanted to get into. Like how, like what's the main way people reach out to you, or you find people, for instance?
Yeah. It's just networking. I just honestly, I reach out to people, I think a lot of people be scared to reach out to people. And I found that kind of is the best thing. You're going to get a bunch of no's, and then, eventually a couple people say yes. And then you use that as your catalog, as your resume. And then you just keep growing it from there. Like I said, it started with Nate. And luckily, because of who Nate is, he's been on almost every Ty Dolla $ign project. He's a world-renowned motivational speaker. So he travels the world doing motivational speeches. He was signed to the same manager as not Dick, right? What is it? Oh, Dr. Cornell West. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but yeah, he was. So him and Dr. Cornell West were on tour together. I used to be on tour with them and stuff. So because my resume started off so hefty early, I was able to take that and like, okay, let me get some other people who may not be as crazy, but like, let me just see like what I could work. And then, so I always reach out to people. So I've had a few people reach out to me. Like I remember I worked with a show called Off the Record. And they're a YouTube show. They've interviewed people like Tony Robbins, Karen Civil, Carl Kanai. One of them is actually a friend of mine who I went to high school with. And I was just giving them like tips on like, yo, you guys should promote your videos this way, just trying to help a friend out. You know what I mean? Not even looking for any, like solely not looking for nothing, like just like, hey, yo, bro, like if you posted if you formatted your videos a certain way, you might be able to reach a different audience, a bigger audience. And then he was just like, you know what? He's like, yo, you should just be on the team. Like, you should just do it. And I was like, oh, snap. I was like, okay, so that sometimes opportunities just kind of come from wherever, you know what I mean? Just, again, me just trying to be helpful, me reaching out. Like I said, with TT, it was on Clubhouse. And again, Clubhouse was a real big thing when it first, I met a lot of cool people, in the industry when it first happened, because I'm from San Diego, born and raised. So, the industry that I knew was kind of San Diego or Cali, you know what I mean? I never was able to really, I've applied for, to work at Warner Music, or I've applied to work at Interscope. I applied to work at these places, but I wasn't fortunate enough. So to be able to have a platform where I was able to talk to other people from other places and like network and really, do my thing, what I do best. Yeah, I was able to just take it up a notch, even how, I started up working with Versus, Versus TV. And
nice.
Yeah, I was working with that. I just reached out to the director, one of Swiss Beats art director, he's Swiss Beats and Alicia Keys art director. And I just reached out to him. It was just like, yo, like, I know you need help. Like, what's up? Yeah. And he was just like, yo, like, let's do it. He actually tested me first. He sent me a video to do, and I just pretty much just copied what he had did previously, and I sent it back to him, and he was like, oh yeah, you're good. You're on the team. He's like, you're on the team. You can do it. You can do it without me. So because that's what people need. Like, for him to be able to do more things that he needs to do, he has a place that can do the things that he's doing currently, Yeah. And so I was able to kind of fulfill that. I was able to fulfill that space for him, just like a bunch of other people we worked with on the project before it got taken over by like Apple and all that stuff.
I like how you I like how you said though, like you pretty much you take the initiative to reach out to people, and it's true. Like you're like for anything starting up, like for instance, like when we started the podcast and stuff, like just reaching out to people. Yeah, you're gonna get people to say no, of course.
Yeah.
That's how it starts. But then I like that you get people to say yes. Now you got a catalog, and then also when you work well, of course, with people, then they trust you, and they'll say like, by the way, this is a person you should work with.
Exactly. And that happened a bunch, even working with Off the Record, the show. Like one of the hosts and creators of the show, he kept plugging me with other stuff. Like, oh, I know a workspace that needs marketing. Oh, I know this little real estate company, college real estate company that need, so he started just plugging me in different places. And so, like you said, that's how it works, just kind of being, people know when you're genuine, you know what I mean? I feel like that's a big thing too. You got to be genuine, and people got to know that you're serious about what you're doing and you know what you're talking about. Because once you start talking about that stuff that they may not understand, or not even that they don't understand, but that what they told me was like, I don't want to have to do all of that. You know what I mean? They're like, yo, you're already great at it. You already know what to do. you're already on top of it. So like, I'd rather just pay you who knows how to do it and do it efficiently just to do it, you know? So like, you got to study hard and then reach out.
Yeah, definitely. What if someone came to you with something they needed help with, possibly, or just looked to you for guidance with something like that you hadn't specifically worked with yet? Like, obviously you've worked with like artists before and music producers and like even like television producers and stuff like that, YouTube producers. But like, what if someone came up to you, like, say for instance, you don't, like, say my name's Joe, right? And I came up to you, I reached out to you on Instagram or something. I say like, hey man, and I just something simple like this, say like, I was like, hey man, I want to write a book. Can you help me? What would you say back to that person? What would you say back to Joe?
Of course, I'd be like, yeah, like, let's talk, let's set something up. For me, it's not, to me, business is business, whatever business you're in. So if you're in the business of writing books, if you're in the business of making music, if you're in the business of real estate, if you're in the business of television, like, it's all a business. So once you understand the basis of the business, of just business, then you're able to attack different businesses. Because again, what I do, I also strongly, again, recommend is just studying. Like, so if you came to me, it's like, hey, I want to do the book, I'll be like, okay, cool, let's talk about it. I'll be like, you know, who inspires you as writers, right? So then I can start to do more research, right? A big thing is research, because I could research anything and learn about it and see, okay, how are the best, you know, writers marketing their book? How are the best writers branding their book? How are they, you know, how do they get to different channels? How do they network? How do they get in different, like, I can research those things and help you get to that next, you know, that's my job, you know, to help you out. So yeah, I feel like I could, anybody, if it's a book, if it's whatever they have going on, you know, I can get the job done.
I like how you were immediately like, oh yeah, I could, yeah, we just got to do the research, but yeah, we'll
figure it out, you know, because it's, again,
man, whatever you bring to me, I got it, and we'll figure it out, and we'll just go from there.
Let's go. Because again, like I said, that basis is real important. Business is business. People get in, like, you guys are in the business of podcasting. You're not just in podcasting, right? You're people who get in music, they're not just making music. You're in the business of making music, you know? So people, once you start realizing like, oh, I'm in a business, then the business overall is kind of similar. You know what I mean? Cookies, apples, like, you still got to sell it to somebody, you know, who's your market, who's your target, like, all those are like regular business terms. So it's like, once you start looking, you're like, oh snap, it's all the same thing. Kind of even like how when I first learned about Forex back in like 2018, before everybody was doing it now. And like, and like, it was crazy, because then once the pandemic hit, I knew about stocks, but I didn't know about stocks. And so when the pandemic hit and I learned all the stocks was dropping and I was investing like crazy, I learned like, oh shit, like, this is the same exact thing as Forex, as trading currency. It's the same thing as stocks. It's the same. All of it is the same thing. Everything is the same. It's just different mediums that we use to express ourselves. You know, so you might be a writer, so you might write a book. You might do music. You might do podcasts. You might make video games. Like, we're all just expressing ourselves, and we're in the business of doing that. So it's just like, I can help anyone get to that next step that they want to get to, because I understand business in general.
I have some more questions for you, but we're going to hold off on those for a second, because we're going to run right into one of our segments we do here on Great Morning. And that is, of course, Stephanie's Facts. Stephanie?
Yeah.
I want to hear some fucking facts.
What's the facts?
Oh my God. Oh my God. I think it's time. For Stephanie to give us some fucking facts. Stephanie's Facts. Stephanie's Facts. Facts.
Random fact of the day: the face of a penny can hold approximately 30 drops of water. Did you know that?
Okay.
I did not.
Say that one more time.
The face of a penny can hold approximately 30 drops of water.
Wow.
So does that mean specifically, like, so our penny, right? Did you actually know? Let me tell you a fact real quick. That actually, this is true. That actually, the penny. It's not actually technically called a penny in the United States. It's called a cent because it is a cent.
Okay.
A penny is actually what the English use in their currency. But we use that term loosely. But yeah. So, but anyway, for our penny, right? Abraham Lincoln is on it, on the front of it. So do you mean his face when you say that? Does it specify, or does it just mean like that one side?
It just says it. It just says.
Because there are a lot of ridges on the face part. So it's like, dang, how does it stick? But I guess it would be on the, like, I would assume it's on the flat part. I would assume it's on the flat part.
Okay.
But even the flat part is still kind of crazy. Like 30 drops, like that's a lot.
That's a lot. I've never measured a drop of water before, but that's a lot.
True. Oh, that's true too. What is a drop of water?
What is what size are we talking about
Yeah,
here?
what is it's like? Is it a big drop? Is it a little drop? Like what's the size
we got
of the drop?
so many questions with this first fact, and I know that they probably did not specify that. And also, I have another question: who took the time to fucking do that? Who's fucking sitting there doing that shit?
Yeah, some world.
Listen, just like Ashley was trying to figure out who the hell decided to freaking murder a whole bunch of eggs and eat it.
That's true. That's true.
That's true.
Back to my fact. So here we go. So the Statue of Liberty wears a size 879 sandal. Did you know that?
I did not. But
that's cool though. That's cool to know.
You know now you know.
I also design clothes, and I want to design, now that you said that, I want to design a shoe specifically for the Statue of Liberty.
So do you design just shoes or just all clothes?
All clothes. Yep.
Hey man, I love having clothes. I love clothes. If you ever want to send me something, I will wear it. I will wear it out in the streets for you. So if you want me to try something.
Listen, I hear you. I'm hearing you say it. Don't say you're gonna wear it and don't wear it.
Oh, what you want me? You tell me where to wear it and I'll wear it.
You gonna wear it, Steph?
Oh yeah, I do.
Okay.
And then I have a photo shoot.
Yeah, Steph got a little vibe too. She got the Nirvana on. I see. She got a little vibe.
Okay.
All right, I'm sorry, Stephanie.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yes.
We're vibing. It's okay. Today's a vibe.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear too. I like to vibe. I love vibing.
That's what I'm talking about. So here's our next one. Okay. So did you know if you wear headphones in your ears for just 1 hour, it will increase your ears bacteria by 700%.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't wear them when you're working out then?
Yeah, you really shouldn't, because now you're dirty.
Yeah, that made me like, I'm definitely not wearing headphones. I'm definitely just gonna keep my speaker.
You dirty.
That's I kind of wish you didn't say that fact.
Yeah, I'm like, because I already don't. I need to wash or clean my ears out more often. So now that you say that, it's like, oh my God.
So 700%. That's just mean. Yeah. That's like a mean number.
Because it makes sense though, because it's clogging your ear.
Yeah.
So it's just whatever's like stuck is stuck. So then it's making it worse and worse. So that makes sense.
Damn.
Makes sense.
It's gross.
It's crazy though. It's crazy.
That is a gross, and that is a good fact. I did not know that, by the way. Though.
No.
It's okay. Well, now you know. You know.
If you didn't know, now you know.
Exactly. All right. So the next one is over 95% of people who live over 110 are women. Did you know that?
Yes, I actually just heard that. Fact and I can't remember the guy's name. His name was like Jason something. I don't know if you guys ever saw that viral video of a kid who was crying doing karate, and there was his teacher teaching him, and he was like, tell him it was that guy who was on the Breakfast Club. So that specific guy was on the Breakfast Club. His name is like Jason something, and he was saying like that women, because he was talking about how men are more suicidal, like we need to check in with our men more. And because he's like men are like way more suicide rate. I can't remember the numbers, like 60% more the suicide rate than women. He was like, women live longer, like they live to 100. He's like, most women live longer than men. He's like, those are because we're not checking men's mental health. We're not checking them along the way. And women just have a natural gift of checking along the way, right? So,
I don't mean to be derogatory here, but they tend to be more emotional, at least showing more emotion. Women, of course,
Yes.
I'm not trying to call anyone out here, but
it's
the world we live in, so that's how it is. But I didn't know that specifically, that fact, Stephanie, but I would have agreed with it if just anyone told me. It sounds correct.
Yeah, it sounds like women live longer. Yeah,
it does
that makes
sound
sense.
like, for that and many other reasons, I feel like,
Because we're
Yeah.
peaceful people.
sure,
Some of them.
yeah.
Some of them.
All right, let's do
Oh
another
my
fact.
God. Okay, we're not doing this. We are not doing this. Anyway, next fact. So, did you know that more people die from selfies than shark attacks?
Wait, from what? From selfies, like the pictures?
Yeah, more people die from selfies.
Because they're not paying attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're being stupid.
Or they're
You
taking
know
a
what
selfie
I
come to
before something
realize?
stupid happens.
You know what I come to realize? Americans are just fucking dumb. That's it. Just fucking dumb. That's
No.
it.
I mean, not all of us. I mean,
No, we
I
just
feel like
don't.
we're the
Like-
three of us are smart
Dumb.
people.
Like, listen, we're just fucking dumb people. Like, that's it. It's okay. Okay. It's all right. It's okay. Like, we go to college. That don't make us fucking smart. It is what it is. Anyway.
I'm smart. She's saying I'm smart.
Smartest person ever. Yeah, no. All right.
Anyway. So let's go to another
All right, let's
one.
do maybe 5 more. Let's do 5 more.
All right. Let's do 5 more.
And
Better
more.
thing.
I love facts too. I
Yeah,
love them.
facts
Oof,
are cool.
oof. Listen to every episode of Great Morning where Stephanie brings
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I'm definitely tuned in now. I seen a couple episodes, but now I'm definitely tuned in. With the facts, it's like, okay, I got to see what they talk about.
So Cleopatra wasn't actually Egyptian. As far as historians can tell, Egypt's famous femme fatale was actually Greek. She was a descendant of Alexander the Great's general Dessel. Did you guys know that?
Definitely, Egypt is a part of Africa, so we're not about to just cut Egypt out of Africa.
I think yes, no, it definitely is. It is.
People will though. People will
Africa.
like even with that statement, sometimes people will assume like, oh, well, like Egypt's not in Africa. Like people
No,
really
it
think
definitely
Egypt
is.
is not like in Africa or not a part of that. Like it's
Well,
not.
it's totally
Listen.
northern Africa, but I did hear that before. I mean, well, you got to remember too, like the Greeks were all over the place at one point, and then
That's true.
I mean, the Romans then came after that. I mean, like, but
That's true.
Julius Caesar and Cleopatra became, some people think they were fucking, but like they were, they were allies, when he came to Egypt.
Exactly.
So the Romans were all over the place at one point. So yes, it is of course part of Africa, but it's I do think the Greeks were there for a little bit. But yes, I think I have heard that one before, Stephanie.
All right, well, that's fine because I have another one for you.
I got to fact check Stephanie on that one.
What? No, you don't fact check me. I am the factor.
Oh, you're the fact. Oh,
Bars.
Okay.
Anyway,
like that.
so the Bloody Mary wasn't always called the Bloody Mary. It was the popular brunch drink was actually called a bucket of blood.
Ooh, I'm glad they changed it to Bloody Mary.
Yeah, no, pero check this out. After it was named Bucket of Blood, it then transitioned to Red Snapper, and then finally they settled on Bloody Mary.
Yeah, Red Snapper is trash. That's bad branding.
How, I'm gonna feel like I'm
fish dish or something.
Yeah, like fall.
Bucket of blood, though.
Bucket of blood is dark.
Yeah,
that's just dark.
Yeah,
it's like I don't know if that sells as much,
Yeah, that's,
but I don't know if that's a good selling point. You know what I mean?
That was I did not know that one though.
That's gross.
Did not know that one.
It's fucking gross.
Yeah, I'm glad they changed it from Red Snapper though. That was trash. That was trash.
Real quick, while Stephanie's looking for that other fact, I have a little quick fact. I might have told this on here because it's so stupid sounding. But you guys ever heard of the game Cornhole? You ever play at the barbecue where you throw a sandbag into the hole like across from each other, right? It was originally called Dad Hole.
Dad Hole? What the fuck is that?
It derived from like some German word, but
it's
almost pronounced dad hole, and I just thought that was always so funny.
It is crazy.
Weird name for.
Oh my god! I have a fact here.
I've never heard that one. That was crazy.
That was a long time ago. Yeah, don't.
That was crazy.
Don't start calling it dad hole. Someone's gonna look at you.
I'm looking. I'm like, why would they call it that? I was like thinking. I'm like, what?
You start saying that at a barbecue, someone's gonna be like, "Hey, man, come on."
This is the dad hole. This is the hole. Everything is ours. Okay.
All right, Stephanie, you got any others?
Yeah, of course I do.
That wasn't English. Do you have any others? Jeez, those words just came out all at the same time in my mouth.
It's okay. So ferrets, dogs, and monkeys were the most popular pets in the Roman Empire. Instead of cats, ancient Romans used ferrets to hunt mice and rats. They used dogs as guards. obviously, and monkeys as entertainment. That's so fucked up.
Mm.
That's not nice.
That's, I mean, it's not necessarily nice. I didn't know that, but I did know about how they didn't like cats a lot. First of all, in a lot of those European areas, like for instance, when I was in Spain, there's just stray cats everywhere. A lot of those areas is just fucking tons of stray cats. They're almost like the rats of out there. And people leave food out for them, so they're always like properly fed. But there's tons of stray cats all over the place. So that doesn't surprise me that they had their own pets to kill the cats. They were probably like rodents to them.
Yeah. That's crazy though. Even with I mean, we still do that. Like we still do all that shit.
We ain't never changed, Craig. We ain't never changed.
Nah, we ain't changing.
All right, so buddy, here's the other fact.
Okay.
So in ancient Greece, they believed redheads became vampires after death. This was partly because redheaded people are very pale skinned and sensitive to sunlight, unlike the Mediterranean Greeks who had olive skin and dark featers.
That sounds like they just didn't like the Irish.
Yeah, I was going to say, where are these redheads coming from? What a bunch of redheads doing in Greece back then?
I guess they was traveling somewhere.
Someone got lost. That's what that sounds like. Someone's boat got stuck in a storm. And it
was like,
they was like, yo, no more potatoes over here, so we gotta, go get
potato famine. Oh man! All right, I believe one more, Stephanie.
All right, I got you right now.
Okay.
The tallest married couple ever recorded was Anna Hanning Swan, who was 7'11", and Martin Van Buren Bates, who was 7'9". And when she gave birth, this girl's freaking baby weighed 22 pounds.
Ooh.
That's a
damn, her vagina.
Baby.
God damn.
How is she carrying that around?
22 pounds.
No, 22 pounds. That's like the equivalent of a fucking 4-month-old baby.
Dude, people lift 20-pound weights just with
just
arms.
to get lift. Yeah, like
oh my God, can you imagine like her pregnancy alone? Jesus Christ.
Oh my God, she must have been bedridden. Oh my God.
I wouldn't have wanted to watch that one. I wouldn't have watched that one. That's one of the ones I got to sit in the little waiting room and wait for you to be done because there's going to be too much going on in there.
That's great.
Oh my God, guys, I have one more. This is disgusting. Espérate. Hold up. So the ancient Romans often used stale urine as mouthwash. Dirty. The main ingredient in urine is ammonia, which acts as a powerful cleaning agent. So urine became so in demand that Romans who traded in it actually had to pay a tax. Get the fuck out.
Sounds like some Roman shit. It sounds like some shit. Yeah, they was doing some crazy shit. They've done some crazy shit, so it sounds like some shit they was doing.
Those Romans did gross shit like that. But anyway, yes, those were great. Those were great last minute plugs. Or not last minute plugs.
Crazy.
Not last minute plugs. Those were great. Last two facts there.
Yeah, I did like those though. Those are funny, and I love history, so I love that you went to the history facts.
Yes, I like those history facts too. So real quick, I got another fact. I forget the girl's name. You can probably look it up. But this is gross. I don't mean to end it on a sad note before we get back into our guest here. But the youngest girl to ever give birth was 5 years old.
That's impossible. How does that even happen?
She was, it was like something in the 30s and
in the 30s. Start scratching his eye. It's the 30s, man.
I've read it.
It was the 30s, man. I don't know.
And she never said who the father was, and she raised that baby. Like,
wow.
How the hell do you raise? How are you 5 years old raising a baby? You don't know how to wipe your own ass yet.
I know she had help.
That's how strong women are. Women just be strong from 5 years old, bro. Y'all be with the shit.
But the fact that it feels like we're breaking almost all our fucking body, like our bones when we're giving birth. So I just can't even imagine a 5-year-old enduring that amount of pain.
I don't know if it came. I don't know if it was. You'd have to look that up on your own time. To listen.
Yeah, we're gonna have to look that up because that's insane.
That's crazy. Though.
I don't know if it was like a cesarean section or whatever.
Yeah. But even when you think about it too, like kids heal faster than older adults. So I wonder if it was like it wasn't as crazy, or maybe it was crazy, but it wasn't as bad for her or something. I don't know.
But then even move past that part, like real quick, I swear, and then we'll get back into this. Move past that part for a second and just like think for a second that like you're growing up and your mom is only 5 years older than you.
Oh my
That's
gosh,
gross.
that's crazy. That is kind of crazy. You might
You're
talk
20. You're 20 years old and your mom's 25.
and you might talk back. You're 15 and she's 20, and you might be like, I'm not listening to you.
I know.
I'm not
Like, what do
listening
you
to
do?
you. You my sister, basically.
I ain't listening.
What?
Like, you 20.
Nah,
Like,
I
you
would
ain't
be
really
just
did
fighting my
nothing.
daughter all the time. Boop, 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 boop. That was crazy. You crazy.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. But yes, that was the last bit of facts there. I want to go back
That
to
was
Marquis
funny.
here. Hey man, so real quick with you know what you do with the business and everything, being a creative director. You know, I like to ask some of the guests this, especially since the time we just went through. How was that affected, if at all, during, of course, the pandemic? You know.
Well, I mean, it was obviously affected in that I think everybody was affected that very beginning, right? Like that first 3-4 months, like, because everything shut down, you can't go
No
nowhere.
one knew what's going on.
Nobody knows
toilet
going on.
paper, you know.
Yeah, right.
It's all this weird shit.
It was crazy. It was crazy. They made I wish I would have invested in that. The toilet, that was the one I missed. But
I know, right?
that was the one I missed. I also just heard somebody else made crazy money too. I can't remember if it was like the mask people or I don't know. Somebody just made crazy money during the pandemic. But yeah, I think in the beginning, yeah, for sure. And then once again, because it was affected, but at the same time it wasn't, because then I was blessed with Versus. You know what I mean? And Versus came about out of the pandemic. And then I was able to kind of work, you know? And so, yeah, it was affected at first, but I think like anything, you just got to figure out a way to work around it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do because unfortunately some people are not able to work around it. You know, a lot of people suffered. A lot of people, you know, didn't have home. I mean, I used to work for the Monarch School in San Diego, which is a school impacted by homelessness. Most of the kids there are homeless or in foster care. Some kids come from Mexico every day just to go to school, and it serves K through 12, and there's one class of every grade. And so you just think about even those kids, you know, the first thing I thought about was the kids I used to work with, like, oh my gosh, like what's going to happen with them? You know, like what happens to them? How do they maneuver around? They don't even have a home to go to, right? Like you just start thinking about all these things. And so I was fortunate enough to be able to work around it, to have family to you know, to look over and to have people, you know, in my field that were still looking for work even through the pandemic.
Like you said, that's a good point though. Those first like 3-4 months, everything was hectic. Some people, like, even if they could work, I feel like they were just so like they didn't know what was happening that they would be like, you know, let's hold off on something right here. I gotta be able to make sure I can get groceries this week.
Yeah. And I had to make sure my, you know, I take care of both my parents, my dad and my mom. My mom had a mild stroke.
Huh?
Listen, man, somebody has to be, man. Somebody has to. It's lost these days, but you know, and also they just, you know, they did some. I looked at it as a no-brainer, right? Like I never thought about it as like, oh, I gotta do this thing. It's like it just happened, and it just was like I'm going with the punches. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know anything different but to take care of my family. You know what I mean? I didn't even know there was another option until people were like, oh shit, you're a good, like you would say, oh man, you're stand-up. Like people were like, man, you're a good son. I'm like, wouldn't everybody, like, I don't know, like, wouldn't anybody do this? But that's when I started finding out even about that, was like, damn, not everybody, you know, cares enough about their family. So, but yeah, I had to kind of sit back from work and all that stuff too, because it was like, I had 2 parents I was taking, and they're older and they already have previous conditions or whatever, all that stuff was going on too. So it was like, I can't go nowhere. You know what I mean? I'm not, the only place I'm going to is the grocery store, so I could shop for them and stuff like that, and myself, obviously. So yeah, it was tough those first, you know, 3-4 months, but you know, you start going online and I'm just looking around, and I see Art. His name is Art, by the way. That's funny. Shout out to Art. He was the creative director, or he was the art director for Alicia Keys and Swiss Beats, and he needed some help, and he was just like, yo, let me get some help. And then that almost like started the wave of me getting back into stuff. Cause then I was doing that. Then I was like, well, you know what? Let me see if anybody else needs anything or whatever. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, it just started slowly but surely. It just started coming around.
I'm glad you weren't waiting around forever to do that stuff. You know, I'm glad it was only like you know, like you said, the 3 or 4 months, because, you know, I just like to ask that question, especially with a lot of the guests that came out, because some people, man, it fucking sucked, man. Some people were fucking like, some people are just now getting back into some fucking some kind of work. It was people fucking were hurting, man.
What's crazy though is like people don't want to go back to work now.
Yeah,
Like,
then
people,
that's another. Oh yeah, that's
they
a
don't
whole
want
other
to.
discussion, right?
It's like, what is it, like 7 million people on unemployment, but there's like 10 million jobs open, like
Yeah.
10.5. So it's like there's enough jobs for everybody.
Oh, I walk around town out here, man. I could probably go into
There's
anywhere and
enough
they'd be
jobs
like,
for
"Can you
everybody.
just come into work?" And I'd be like,
Yeah.
"Yeah." And they're like, "Well, you're hired." And I'm like, "Well, I don't know how to do this, but all right."
Okay. But what happened was people were making money on their own. They had, like we said, they had it that first 3-4 months. Okay, nobody knows what's going on. That 6th, 7th month mark starts to hit. You like, okay, I need to figure something out. You know what I mean? And that's when investing in the crypto, investing forex, and the stocks was going crazy, and like all that stuff started popping up. And people were teaching classes online. It was just so much to do. So people, some people figured it out, man. Some people really got on it, and now they don't have to go back to work. Now they don't got to.
Some of them don't. I mean, yeah, that was, what was it? Dogecoin was big for.
Oh,
people were
yeah.
talking about Dogecoin for like what, 3 months? Stephanie, you know about Dogecoin, right? How long were people?
But they
talking
make
about
so
that
much
for?
money off that shit, man. Man. I'm mad I didn't get on it. I didn't get on that. I have Bitcoin. I have a few other ones. Doge, or it was cool. I made a few dollars off it, but it wasn't nothing crazy. Like, I didn't invest crazy when I should have. But yeah, people were making money, man. Even still now, like, people they making money off this stuff, man. Like, and then because they took that money and they invested it in other stuff. They went from crypto to real estate. Like, and did that. Like, people were just like, yo, I'm gonna do whatever it is, because now I have the opportunity to learn. You know what I mean? Now I can research. Like, again, that's my biggest thing, is research. You know what I mean? Now people had time to sit down and research how to do, because before you didn't have enough time in the day. You know what I mean? You had to take care of kids, you got to do dinner, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to work, right? And you're tired, and so you don't have time. That extra 2 hours of studying is hard, And so now, where everybody's home for 6, 7, 8 months, you're like, you got some time to look over something. You know what I mean? That's what there were people saying, like, yo, if you don't come out the pandemic with something, like, without like starting a business, you're crazy. You know what I mean? Because it was like just start something, like, do anything. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, you can do it because there was so much time and people were still getting the money. I mean, people did the PPP scams and stuff, like, shit, I can't lie. I knew people who, they was doing their thing, like they and the thing is, they paid them right back. They paid the government. They took that 35,000, put it in real estate, did all this other stuff, made a bunch of money, made like 70, 80 grand, paid back the government, and never had to hear from them again. and now they're up. And it's like, yo, they paid them back. They did the right thing. So it's not really a scam, because you paid them back. They got their money back. So it's like, people got it how they got to get it,
Yeah, as long as
I'm actually happy about that.
People are happy, that's how it always is,
Yeah, I'm happy about that. People finding their own way, that's what it's about. Like, I've never done anything the traditional way. I'm a creative director, but I didn't go to school for this. I didn't go to school to be an entrepreneur. I didn't go to school to be a designer. You know what I mean? I didn't go to school to be a lot of things, but I am a lot of those things now, So there's just like, you gotta, if you want it, you're gonna figure it out,
But real quick, because we're getting close on time. So, I want to ask you a bunch more questions, but we do have to do another one of our segments here before we roll into anything else.
Let's go.
That is probably one of our favorite segments we've been doing here at Great Morning for a while now. And that is, of course,
The word of the day.
Oh.
The word of the day. Word of the day. So, how the word of the day works is, so usually this is a little different. This is a big moment, Stephanie, right? We don't have the big old dick with us. That's the big old dictionary that Jimmy has in his.
I was like,
studio. Yeah, I know. We always get everyone with that.
It's a big old dick this big.
I was like, yo. I was
big
like,
old
hey, yo.
dick, he
like,
flips
hey,
open
yo.
there. So
Like, maybe give me a little pause or something. What?
Pause.
We don't
Something.
pause. We do not have that with us, but I was able to call into the studio and I had someone over there to flip it open for us and get us a word.
Oh, wow.
That way we were able to that way we weren't just doing it online, so that way you have the word.
Doing some tech stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So but also what is important, before I give you the rules, right? I'll go into giving the rules about the word of the day. But what is really important, and no pressure, but this is officially the last word of the day that we'll be judging for season 3. So now let me go into the rules that we understand what we're saying, right? So how the word of the day works is, we usually get a word, right? And this time I'll be doing it, but usually it was Jimmy would say the word. We'd spell it for you and we give you the definition. Then the guest, whoever they are, would have to give us that word in a sentence. So say the word was pony and you said, I was riding a pony. That could be your sentence. But, depending on how the sentence is, there's a lot of varying factors, but pretty much how creative it is, we judge that for the end of the season out of all of our guests, and we make a top 10 list of all the guests and their sentences. So no pressure, but you are the last one this season, and you have the opportunity. You are the last one for this season. You have the opportunity.
I like that.
To, if your sentence is good enough, to possibly make it onto the top 10. But what is important for any of the listeners out there is that this is the last person we will be judging for that top 10. So this is it. This is it. After this, all the words of the day for season 3 are done, and we're going to make our list. So no pressure. Are you ready for the word of the day?
No pressure. I actually used to be spelling bee champ when I was in elementary school. So.
Oh,
well, okay.
Well,
back in the day, though. Listen, it's been some years.
Yeah, let's hope that works for you now. All right, so I have the word here. I wrote it down from before.
Okay.
So this is your word of the day. It is a hamlet. So it's spelled Hamlet. Now, not to be confused with the famous Shakespeare play. What a hamlet means in definition is a small settlement, generally one smaller than a village.
Okay.
So go ahead and take a few seconds if you need it. But then whenever you're ready, we'll hear your word of the day.
People say it takes a village, but it takes a hamlet to raise a child. And what I mean by that is that it's not about having people around you, but having the right people around you to help you grow.
All right.
Let's go. Word of the day. I'm telling you, I got this. I got this. Word of the day. I told you, I was spelling bee champ, 3rd grade. I got this.
I love it. I love the attitude.
Yeah.
Well, that was actually pretty good, and I'm excited to judge them all now. That's it, guys. So for listeners, we have our words of the day. So you listeners out there, you can start looking back on previous episodes, this episode, of course, and start thinking about you guys out there can think of your own top 10 list. Of course, you can guess at who you think is going to be number 1 and all that. But that's it. We are officially here for season 3. We can.
If I don't win, I'm gonna be mad. I had the best. It was, but not the best, but it was the quickest response. I know it was the quickest. It was right off the top.
It was pretty. Yeah, I mean, there was some very quick people. You got some competition out there. I will say.
Okay. So y'all got some other people good then. Okay.
There's some good people. You're out of. You're going up against almost 30 other people.
Oh. Well, I'm gonna go check them out, and I'm gonna hit you. I'm like, look, I know I'm better than that.
You can go ahead and do that.
At least 25 of these people.
But we will be judging, and we'll before the episode we'll talk about like how we specifically judged and all that, and how it's between me, Stephanie, and Jimmy. How it all came together, how we looked specifically, re-listened to everyone's specific sentence, and then went into the judging factors, these key factors into it.
And what's the judging factors? Just so you know what I mean.
So you know what? I'll tell you after this episode. I won't say it while we're recording because I want it to be before the season finale. But I will tell you, since you did it, I'll tell you. But you know what? I hate to do this. We are literally running out of time. Otherwise, this is pretty much it. We're coming up to that sad time of the episode where we gotta go around the room and do our last minute plugs. All right.
Okay.
So I'm going to start with, of course, Stephanie, your Grace. You got any last minute plugs for listeners before we go on our guest?
I need y'all to freaking follow me. Y'all need to follow me. Y'all need to go to slightlyspecialmedia.com. Y'all need to buy the freaking Great Morning merch because, I need our listeners and our followers to tag me so that I know that you guys are really loyal, okay? Because I need to know the facts that our listeners are doing their due diligence and, they're actually So I'm going to need y'all to do that. And so anyway, so back to following me. So you need to follow my IG.
That's a fact. Follow Steph. That's a fact.
Yes, because, you love stuff, because we all love stuff. But, I gotta spell it out for you guys because I'm afraid that you guys are probably spelling it incorrectly.
You know, that's a
Okay.
good point. We don't really
So-
usually spell that out, and it isn't spelled how
Yeah,
you
you
usually
know,
write
and
that.
it was a thought that came to me, and I was like, you know what? My freaking following has not gone up, and I'm trying to figure that out. And I'm like, maybe Stephanie, you're not, you know, maybe you should fucking spell it out. Duh. So listen, so it's you love Steph, guys. So it's actually like this. So it's Y, the letter Y, the letter U, and then love, L-U-V, Steph with 2 H's and then 2 underscores. That's it. That's you love Steph on IG. Then we're gonna move on to TikTok because you know I am popping on TikTok. You know, even though I am constantly freaking being flagged, and that's gonna be another thing that I'm gonna talk about on the next freaking this. So because you know TikTok be having me pressed. Anyway, we're not gonna get into it. We're not gonna get into it because it's gonna be a whole other fucking this. So we're not.
Exactly.
Well,
Try
anyway,
not
so
to piss TikTok off.
You're right. You still need them.
First of all, shout out to motherfucking 5 Napkin because I still want my motherfucking 5 napkin burger. I want my great morning burger. All right, so
Yeah,
shout
when's
out
that
to 5
happening? You're past the point. At first they said 10, now they said 15. You're
well,
20
you know
now.
what? You know what? I can't really discuss. So I'll tell that after. But
Oh,
yeah, anyway.
Sounds like some shit. All right.
Yeah, so you know, and then so yeah, TikTok. Y'all gotta follow me at TikTok, and that's at Steffi. Spell it out, all right? I'm gonna spell it out for y'all. So STEPH and 2 Y's and 2 underscores and the number 0. All right, y'all need to follow your Puerto Rican mamacita from Spanish Harlem, and that's pretty much it from moi.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much for those last minute plugs, Stephanie. And of course, my last minute plugs before we get into our honored guest are you can follow me on Instagram. That is Christian D. Merm. That is my personal. If you feel like following that, go ahead. You can, of course, follow the Great Morning _ the podcast on Instagram. That is the podcast Instagram. You can follow Great Morning _ the podcast on TikTok. That is our TikTok we got going there. You can follow Slightly Special with 2 L's at the end on Instagram. I know he wasn't here today, but shout out to him again.
Shout out to Jimmy.
Go follow him. Give him much love. You know, he's very busy with that, that training that was happening this week. We apologize for that, but he should be back for the next episode.
I'm gonna get on another episode, and we're gonna have we need an episode, all of us back on.
Yes, because I want to talk to you again because I know we kind of ran out of time here. Because I had more questions I wanted to ask you. I know, but
I talked too much.
That's no, that's good. We like that because it's weirder if I asked you how you doing today, man? You were like, good. That would have been. Then it would have been tough. Yeah, it would have been.
Yeah, that's cool.
Then it would have been a really awkward podcast for all of us, and it would have been 20 minutes long.
Exactly.
Let's get the hell out of here. But yeah, no. So follow Jimmy. Hopefully he's back for the next one. Follow Trip God Jimmy. That is TRYPGODJIMI on Instagram. He's back. He's doing the music. He's doing the beats again. So hit him up for if you need some help with that, or if you just want to listen to some music, hit him up. And stay tuned for coming out Halloween Day is the Halloween special for Great Morning, of course, part 3. So stay tuned for that. We worked really hard on that. We're really excited to put that out there for you guys. And I believe we said November 18th will be the season finale of Great Morning season 3. So stay tuned for that as well. Before that comes out, we will announce here soon. I can't say a day yet because we all got to get together and do a meeting, but we will announce soon who made it on the top 10 list for the words of the day, and we will be sending out messages to them on either text them or Instagram, and we will we're going to try to send out nice letters too that they can hang up on their refrigerator or whatever they want to do. So
you're a smart individual.
Yes. I would love that. A little certificate. I like that.
So stay tuned for that. All that's coming together. We're very excited for the end of the season here for the last little bit that's going on. But anyway, enough about that. Going into our honored guest, Marquis. It was an honor to have you on, man. Wish we could have talked to you longer, man. You're a great person to talk to. It was very interesting talking to you. But you got any last minute plugs for listeners?
First off, make sure y'all follow Christian and Stephanie, please, and the podcast, Great Morning America.
Thank you.
And yeah, man, my plugs is just I'm dropping my first men's capsule. It's the debut of my brand on the end of the month too, on Halloween on the 31st. Oh, okay. So yeah, you could follow the brand. It's Doomsday, DOMESDAY. Again, it's Doomsday, DOMESDAY. It's the original way to spell doomsday. Americans, we spell everything the way it sounds.
Exactly. That's why I said we're dumb.
I don't think it's dumb. I'm not gonna say it's dumb because it's logical when you think about it. You're like, I don't know how to spell it. Just put it spell like that.
But then we'll also spell phone with a PH.
Yeah, that's true. We're crazy, man. Americans is crazy.
The English language is nuts.
Yes, but definitely shout out to the brand. I'm definitely is Doomsday is the collection. The Last Days is the name of the capsule. And yeah, I'm dropping that soon. Follow me on Instagram, Marquis Worldwide, Marquis Worldwide. That's easy to spell. And yeah, so that's dope. And then yeah, that's about it for plugs. Just make sure you follow me and make sure you follow Doomsday, please, man. The collection is dope. My boy who shot the campaign videos, he shoots videos for DaBaby, Blueface, Snoop Dogg, Too Short, E40. So the videos are crazy. The pictures are crazy. The content, the clothes are dope as fuck. I'm wearing one right now. You know what I mean? This is one of the pieces.
Ooh. Yeah, I do like that.
Got the puff print on the back. You know what I mean? The Last Days.
Oh, that's cool.
So I'm doing a lot of cool stuff, man. This collection is dope. I can't wait to drop it. Can't wait for y'all to see it because I got a lot more stuff coming. I'm gonna drop a women's collection probably like the top of next year. So I'm working on that right now too. So I'm just happy to get this men's collection out. I can start working on some stuff for the ladies.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. I appreciate y'all for having me.
Model it out for you, you know? You just.
Oh no. Yeah, I got y'all. And I appreciate y'all for having me on, for reals, man. You guys are dope. You guys have great energy. I love y'all's show. Even being on the show now, I love it even more, honestly. And y'all can use that as a drop.
Yes, I like that.
You know what I mean?
Well, hey man, we really appreciate it. We really appreciate the love. But thanks again. It was an honor to have you here. And again, we hope to get you back. I'd love to pick your brain a little bit more, of course.
Yeah, let's go, man. I love being on here, man.
Hell yeah. So
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. And that was, of course, our episode. Great morning.
Great fucking morning.
Great morning. Great morning. Great morning.